Yo, it's your boy Jay Best, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast. On today's episode, it's not really my normal weekly episode about sports. This is like I did a couple weeks ago with the John Morant situation. I'm gonna do it again with the whole Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese controversy that's been trending worldwide over the past couple of days. Okay, but before I even get into that, I just want to thank God for waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something that I love to do. And without Him, I would not be here right now. All right, so before I even say anything about this situation, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get y'all caught up if y'all don't know about what's going on. So the LSU women's college basketball team won all of March Madness. They won the national championship on Sunday against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Okay, 102 to 85. So before I go any further, let me congratulate LSU for winning the first championship in program history. Okay, congratulations to Coach Kim Mulkey. Congratulations to the girls. Congratulations to LSU Nation. Let me go ahead and get that off my chest. I also want to say congratulations to Iowa for getting to the national championship. Okay, many people probably didn't think they would beat South Carolina, which they did, and that hurt me because me and my family we support South Carolina when it gets to the conference championship. I mean the conference tournament and March Madness because my parents was big Dawn Staley fans back in the day. That's the coach for South Carolina, if y'all don't know. And I kind of followed their footsteps and was supporting her in South Carolina. So many thought they wouldn't beat South Carolina, who had just won like 42 games straight. All right, so then Iowa beat them, and then they went into the championship and got outplayed by LSU. But Iowa is only here and only in this conversation because of Caitlin Clark. All right, Caitlin Clark is honestly, to me, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, the best college basketball player I've ever seen play in my life. Hands down, no questions asked. Men's and women's, okay? Let me just go ahead and let y'all know what she did in this tournament before I get to the controversial part. Caitlin Clark put up 191 points throughout this whole entire tournament, which is the most points put up by any player in men or women's college basketball. Let me re-say that again. Women's or men's college basketball in the March Madness tournament, she put up the most points ever. Okay, let's just go ahead and say that, and that is a crazy thing to accomplish, especially being a woman. Okay, I'm gonna explain that when I'm done telling y'all what else she did. So, Caitlin Clark also had 60 assists in all of March Madness, which was one shy of the men's record, but she did break the women's record. So she almost broke the record for points and assists in March Madness history for men and women. She also put up 41 points, 10 assists, and 12 rebounds, or 10 rebounds, 12 assists, whichever way it is, during March Madness, which was a historical performance. Okay, and she also had 41. She had a 41-point triple double, so that's the same thing. So she did so much in this tournament. And when I go back to the women thing, okay, I'm not being sexist by any means, okay. When people ask me who's the greatest athlete of all time, I say Serena Williams, okay, because first of all, women are viewed as a weak link when it comes to sports. Okay, people don't watch women's sports because it's too soft. It's not competitive enough. It's not women don't have enough skill. That has been said throughout history about women's sports. But when Serena Williams came into tennis and just dominated the game, when you think about tennis, the first person that come to mind is Serena Williams. So when a woman comes and take over a game, it's like you get bonus points for that because you're a woman, right? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not being sexist by any means. I do believe that there are great women athletes in the world. The Simone Biles, the Serena Williams, the Candace Parkers, the Allison Felixes. They know there's a lot of great women athletes. But when Serena Williams came to tennis and dominated, okay, for such a long period of time, and like I said, when you think of tennis, she's the face of tennis. Okay, and as a woman, when you do something like that, when you take over a man and woman sport, it's extra credit for you because you're a woman. Okay, and like I said, women has been viewed as the weakest link when it comes to sports. So that's why I say Serena Williams is the greatest athlete of all time because she was a woman that did that. Okay, and not just that, she was a black woman that did that. Caitlin Clark, okay, what she is doing in college basketball, I've never watched So I heard about Caitlin Clark a lot. I heard about it throughout the tournament, but I never really sat down and watched a full game of Caitlin Clark till she played in South Carolina. Okay, and I've been hearing all this noise about Caitlin Clark. I've been hearing the numbers, and I said, okay, South Carolina the best defense in women's college basketball. So she's not finna go in there and do what she's been doing against South Carolina. Mind you, I was rooting for South Carolina, but I sat there and watched that girl put up 41 points. 41 points. Okay, she did that She single-handedly beat South Carolina. Okay, and watching her performance, it's like watching the female version of Steph Curry. That's exactly what she is. She's unguardable. Okay, when she gets to the half court line, you have to guard her. Okay, that's how special she is. And like I said, I only seen one game, and I'm convinced that she's the best college basketball player that I've ever seen with my own eyes, personally. Like men and women, she is the best college basketball player that I've ever seen. So with that being said, all right, let me go ahead and get to the controversial part. I guess I gave LSU their credit. I gave Caitlin Clark and Iowa their credit. Now let's go ahead and talk about this controversial problem, right, that occurred after the game. So during the game, Angel Reese was seen giving I'm gonna say taunting Caitlin Clark with the whole "you can't see me" thing. Why did she do it? She did it because a couple games back, I believe it's the game that Caitlin Clark had the triple double against Louisville. She did the "you can't see me" after she hit like 6 threes, I believe. I had just read about it a couple days ago. So after she did that in that game, and then in the championship game, Angel Reese did it back to her. Okay, the "you can't see me." Then after the game, so she did the first time during the free throw. I don't know how much time was left, but the game was pretty much over. Okay, and then she did it after the game. She followed Caitlin Clark to her bench and did the whole "you can't see me" thing. After she did that, social media just blew up, and people said that she was classless. Okay, she didn't show any class when she won that game. The way she went at Caitlin Clark and did the whole "you can't see me." Then social media blew up like 10 times more because they came back and people were saying, okay, when a black player does it, it's a problem. It's classless, whatever. When a white player does it, it's cool, it's normal, whatever. That's when you know what hit the fan. The Sugar Honey Iced Tea hit the fan, okay? And for those of y'all that don't know what Sugar Honey Iced Tea mean, go ahead and just put it in abbreviation, okay? SHIT. Y'all know exactly what I'm saying. That's when it hit the fan, all right? Because when you throw the race card, because people were saying that social media is racist. People are racist because when a black player do it, it's not cool. When a white player does it, it's cool. When you throw the race card into something, that's such a big card to throw. That's like when you playing Uno and somebody throw down a draw 4. When somebody throw down a draw 4, you like, golly, like, nothing I can do about it. I just gotta go ahead and draw my 4. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna lose this game. When somebody throw down the race card, it's worse than the draw 4, of course, but it's the same thing. It's just bad. It's a bad look. Okay, you're taking it from one level to the next. Okay, that's how big this got because it turned into a racism thing. It wasn't just the women shouldn't be that competitive. It turned into a racial problem, and I don't appreciate that being a black person that we throw the race card in this situation, and here is why. I'm about to tell y'all how I feel about the situation. So I gave them both their credit, LSU and Iowa. Caitlin Clark gave y'all credit. And now I just give y'all the situation. So I summarized the situation. Now I'm about to tell y'all how I feel about it and how I took it. So there's 2 ways I can look at this, okay? The first way, and I'm not going to use, this is not my final say so. This is how I could decide to look at it. I don't respect players. I don't respect it in men basketball, women basketball, NBA, or college. I don't respect it in tennis. I don't respect it in hockey, soccer, whatever the sport is. I do not respect, especially in football, when a player taunts or does a gesture or anything to a player that is better than them. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Especially, I'm not done, especially when that player outplayed you. Caitlin Clark dropped 31 in that game. And even from the eye test, just looking at what y'all done this season, yes, Angel Reese got all the double-doubles, and she's a good player. I'm not taking nothing from her. But Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. For you to talk trash to her, I don't respect it. I don't respect when Patrick Beverly talk trash to LeBron. Not saying that Angel Reese is Patrick Beverly. But, and I even saying Caitlin Clark is LeBron. What I'm saying is I don't like when players that are not better than that player talk trash or make gestures or anything like that. Now, it's a whole different, especially when you're outperformed, okay? So when LeBron James dropped 51 against the Warriors, I would not have liked if any Warriors player talked trash because they beat the Cavs that game. But LeBron had 51. LeBron outplayed everybody on that court, but the Warriors won that game. Okay, so whether LeBron team isn't good, whether your team isn't good enough, or whether the other team is just that good, if you outperform the other team, you should not be looked at or talked about at all. Period. In this game, Caitlin Clark was the best player on the court. She dropped 31, but guess what, Angel Reese, you went and you talked trash to her. You went and you did that gesture towards her. I don't respect that. Now, if you're a player, for example, Gary Payton and Michael Jordan. If Gary Payton go and lock up Michael Jordan, hold him to 7 points, 8 points, whatever, and he talk trash, that's a whole different conversation. If Angel Reese would have guarded Caitlin Clark and held her to 8 points, whatever, cool. That's a whole different situation. Talk your trash. You do that. That's all. Hey, you got it. But when a player outperforms you, whether they win or lose, I do not think you should talk trash to that player. That's one way I could look at it. But I'm not going to choose to look at it that way because I don't think that's the correct way to look at it. I'm going to look at it. And like I said, I've stood, like that's my stance on that since day one. I do not like when people talk trash to somebody that outplayed them or is even better than them. Unless, like I said, you go and you lock them up and they only have 7 points. Or in football, you lock them up, they only have 7 yards. Okay, Jair Alexander locked up Justin Jefferson this year, talk trash. Cool. Even though Justin Jefferson is a way better player than you, you locked him up that game, you talk trash. Cool. But the other way I'm going to look at it, and this is the way that I'm going to take it home with. This is the final say on this show. This is what I'm going to say. This is just an eye test. Period. It's an eye test. That's all it is. Okay, people that are going back and saying, okay, Caitlin Clark did it back then and whatever. I can pull up some things that Angel Reese have done back then. Right? I don't care about nothing they did prior to this game. I don't. In this game, when Angel Reese gave her the "you can't see me" at the foul line, when Jay was shooting free throws and the game was over, okay, you got her. That's cool. Make your gesture. That's it. You got her. You did it. You did the "you can't see me" back in her face after she did it to Louisville. Cool. But after the game, when you follow her to her bench while doing the whole "you can't see me," that's extra. It's extra and it's overkill. Those are the two words that I'm going to use. It's extra and overkill. I'm not going to say classless. I think that's the wrong word to use. And I think that's the word that kind of sparked the whole race idea, the racism idea, when you say it's classless. I'm not going to say classless. My choice of word is overkill and extra. Okay, because let's just use the eye test. Like I said, watch Caitlin Clark do it. I'm going to show y'all Caitlin Clark doing it. She did it for a quick little 2 seconds. You can't see me, cool. Let's go. Keep playing basketball. And it was during the game. Angel Reese did it during the game for a little 5 seconds. Cool. But after the game, let's compare Caitlin Clark doing it to Angel Reese doing it. Angel Reese did it for a good 20 seconds straight. And pointing at her finger saying, give it a ring. While doing the gesture, "you can't see me," for like 20 seconds. That is overkill. That is extra. That is why I'm not standing for the whole race thing. Because she was extra about it. She did it one time during the game. That's cool. You got her back. You got your get back. You spun the block. Whatever you want to say. You got her. Okay? But when you do it again at the end of the game, your team is celebrating. Y'all just won the championship and you're following her to her bench to say, "you can't see me," and to point at your finger saying, "give you the ring." That's overkill. It's overkill and it's extra. I'm not going to say classless, because I think that's a little too deep. We're looking too deep into it when we say that. It's overkill. And I don't appreciate the people that are throwing the race card into this, because I don't think it takes this. If you just use the eye test and watch Caitlin Clark do it and watch Angel Reese do it, the only thing we should take from this is that Angel Reese was extra with it. That's all it was. You literally followed her to her bench while your team is celebrating, saying you can't see me. And then, like I said in my first point, that girl just dropped 31 points. Well, I'm sorry, 30 points. Right? So I just know in this situation, I don't appreciate people throwing the race card out there. And I think it shouldn't have been this big situation. It should have been just, look, Caitlin Clark did it. Angel Reese did it. Then Angel Reese did it again for the whole 20 seconds, which was crazy to me. It was extra. Okay, extra and overkill is the two words I'm going to use. I do think people saying classless is what sparked the whole racism thing. But it's not that. It shouldn't have even got to that. Race has nothing to do with this. So I don't appreciate the people that threw the race card in there. I don't respect that view because it just used the eye test. This is the most simple test of all time. The eye test. Alright? But that's all I'm going to say on that situation today. Look, people going to look at me any kind of way y'all want to look at me. But in this situation, I'm on Team Clark technically. Because, yes, Caitlin Clark did it. Angel Reese, you did it. That should have been it. The whole after the game thing, extra and overkill. Alright? But that's it. I'm your boy Jay Best, and I will be back later. Maybe today or tomorrow I'm going to do my NBA episode. I might try to do it today, but there's a lot of things going on with school right now. So I'm going to try to get y'all that NBA update episode tonight. But if I do not, I will see y'all soon. But much love. God bless. And I'm out.